Hey Brasilingos, Christmas is almost here. It's just 10 short days away from the day that I'm filming this video. And we all know this time of year can be so busy, so crazy with all the hustle and bustle of the Christmas shopping, the wrapping, the baking Christmas cookies, decorating the house, all the wonderful traditions, but it gets crazy, right? And watching Christmas movies is such a great way to relax and unwind. And you don't even have to feel guilty about taking a break because you can multitask by practicing your listening skills in your target language. So today I'm going to give you 5 classic Christmas movies that have translations in both English and Portuguese. And I'm going to talk about their titles because when we translate movies, sometimes their titles change completely. So we'll talk about that too. I also made a blog post about this, so I'm going to link it down below, and all the trailers to the movies in English are linked down there too. If you want to find the trailer in Portuguese, just search the title that we're going to talk about here and you can find the trailer in Portuguese as well. So our first movie, which is a classic straight out of 1990, is Home Alone. I think most people have probably seen Home Alone. If you have not, you definitely should watch it because it's a great movie. It's about a family who goes on vacation and forgets their youngest son at home, and while he's home alone, some robbers are casing out the neighborhood and decide they want to break into his house, so he has to defend his home by himself, and it's hilarious. Definitely a good watch. The name in Portuguese, totally different. It's Esqueceram de Mim. Esqueceram de Mim, or They Forgot Me. They Forgot Me. But let me know, that's the title in Brazil. The title in Portugal is Sozinho em Casa, which means home alone. So in Portugal, they kept it the same. In Brazil, they changed it to Esqueceram de Mim. Let me add that while the first Home Alone is definitely, in my opinion, the best one, there is a sequel, Home Alone 2, that is also with Macaulay Culkin, and then there's Home Alone 3, which I personally didn't like too much because they changed the actor, and I don't know, it just wasn't the same. But there are a couple other sequels to Home Alone if you have not seen them. Our next movie is The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. There's also a couple sequels to this movie. There's definitely a second one and a third one, and there might even be a fourth one, but those are all great movies. And I talked about this in my stories on Instagram, but I hadn't noticed until I was making this blog post and video that the Santa Claus is spelled differently than Santa Claus. So just Santa Claus, Papai Noel, it's spelled C-L-A-U-S. The movie The Santa Claus, there's an E on the end, which changes the meaning of clause to a clause, like in a document, like a little paragraph, a little clause, you know what I'm talking about. So that was actually quite clever when I stopped to think about it. I had never even picked up on that. So what the movie's about is Santa Claus is on the roof delivering presents on Christmas Eve and falls off the roof and disappears. So Tim Allen, or his name is Scott in the movie, he puts on the Santa suit and finishes delivering the presents, only to find the next day he's noticing some physical changes. Uh-oh. So he starts turning into looking like Santa Claus, and he can't do anything about it, and everybody thinks he's going crazy. So that's basically the story. I won't say anything else. I don't want to give any spoilers, but watch the movie, it's very good. The title of the movie in Portuguese is Meu Papai and Noel, which again is a very clever title, but when you try to translate it to English, it kind of loses the cleverness. So Santa Claus is Papai Noel. So Meu Papai, my dad, at Noel is Noel, or my dad is Santa, is basically how it gets translated to in Portuguese. Meu Papai and Noel, very good. The third movie is probably my absolute favorite Christmas movie, and that is Elf. Or in Brazilian Portuguese, Duende em Nova York. So an elf in New York. So what this movie is about is a human who gets adopted by Santa, and it grows up his entire life as an elf, although he's much bigger than all the other elves. And then one day just finds out that he was adopted and that his birth father lives in New York and is on the naughty list. So he goes to New York trying to find his birth father and convince him of the spirit of Christmas and to get off the naughty list. It's played by Will Ferrell, and it's just absolutely hilarious. Again, I definitely recommend watching this one. I feel like we can't talk about Christmas movies without mentioning The Grinch. The name in English is actually How the Grinch Stole Christmas, or Como o Grinch roubou o Natal. And the name in Brazilian Portuguese is just O Grinch. There are a few versions of this movie. There's the original cartoon, there is the one with Jim Carrey, which is the one we're going to talk about here, and then there's also the new Grinch that came out last year. That was also good, but the best I think is the Jim Carrey one. And what it's about is just a grumpy old green Grinch who lives secluded on a mountain and hates everything about people and Christmas. And then he decides to come down to Whoville where they absolutely love Christmas, and he gets publicly humiliated and then decides it is time to ruin Christmas for everybody. So definitely watch the movie. I won't say any more than that because I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's a good movie. And our last movie to talk about today is Jingle All the Way, or Herói de Brinquedo. So Herói de Brinquedo would be a toy hero, which I think makes much more sense for this movie than the title Jingle All the Way. And Jingle All the Way, if I translate it to Portuguese, it's like Toca todo o caminho. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's from the song Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, Jingle All the Way. What the movie's about is Arnold Schwarzenegger, I forget what his name is in the movie, but he's a workaholic father. He misses out on a lot of special events for his son and his family, and he's feeling guilty about it. He wants to be a better father, so he promises to get his son the most popular, hottest toy of the season, the Turbo Man. But it's Christmas Eve, and it's just funny as he's trying to find this toy that's almost impossible to find on Christmas Eve. There's only one, and he has to fight another guy to try to get it. So it's definitely a funny movie also. I think all these movies are funny movies. So now that you have 5 different movies to choose from, pick the one that sounds the most interesting to you, grab a notebook, a pen, and a cup of hot cocoa, and sit down and relax and watch the movie, and just take notes of any words that you don't recognize or know, and after the movie, look them up and then put them into sentences. Also, don't forget to check out our website, Brasilingo.com. We're offering 20% off on all group classes from now through January 3rd. Classes start January 4th. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have the best holiday season ever. I'll see you soon.